Hey friends, it's hard to believe it's the end of October. This month has been real. The energy's been very real. It's been potent. It's been testing. It's been challenging at times. Yeah, there's lots and lots going on. So I felt inspired to grab some cards, and I'm just going to follow my intuition. So the first thing that's coming to me is what is coming to a close in October. So let's just see what the cards come up with. That one. So this is what is coming to a close for October. I'm going to do one more. Okay. So we've got Sisterhood of the Rose, Beauty and Devotion, Priestess, Mystic Teacher. Boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? So perhaps in October, you were reminded how important boundaries are. Pillar of Light. Your vibration is rising. So this was the last one I pulled. Your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. So there's been lots of energy shifts within October. As I mentioned, I have 100% felt it. Sisterhood of the Rose, 78. Sisterhood of the Rose is a lineage of priestesses and mystics who devoted their lives to serving humanity and seeding light consciousness. So in October, perhaps you came into alignment with more of your truth. That really is coming up for me. A cross-section of ancient lineages, it is the path to devotion and beauty. Walking this path means being devoted to seeing and creating beauty wherever you go. So even in the hard times, even in the challenging times. So for me, for example, like the first 2 weeks of October, pretty much were a write-off for me. I couldn't think straight. I wasn't being as productive, both at work and at home, which I'm not ashamed to admit, because when we have other stuff going on that's literally not at all within our control, it can really weigh on us, and it can really shift our vibration in the wrong way. So this month was really about, okay, here's a challenge. Literally at the beginning of the month, here's a challenge. How are you going to react to this? Are you going to lean in, or are you going to resist, and then just make it 10 times worse? So I'll admit I leaned in. I did a lot of resting. I did a lot of sleeping. I wasn't even journaling after the second week of October, I was not journaling until I think it was almost 2 full weeks that I could not harness the energy within my body. So I just went with whatever I needed to do. You're being called to notice the beauty all around you. That's one thing that I definitely noticed in October. I leaned into me. I leaned into what I knew my soul needed. I had stuff I could be doing that needed done, but I made time for me and the things that I love. So my biggest passion, photography. You're being called to notice the beauty all around you, particularly in nature, and hear the whispers of Mother Earth. And literally, I leaned in. It's all I had the strength to do. And I really did lean into Mother Nature. So this is awesome. Mother Nature is constantly whispering. Spend time admiring her creations and you will be rewarded with insight and grace. You're being called to take a little more time to both notice the beauty that exists all around you and contribute to the beauty of the world in your own way. So, think of that. What way do you feel lit up? What way, if you're feeling totally weighed down, that even in 20 minutes or even in 10 minutes, you feel your energy shift? For me, that's getting out in nature. And a lot of times it's getting out in nature with one of these, my cameras, and capturing pictures. And literally, it could just be 5 minutes. Like, my husband and I went for a drive last night and I said, stop on this bridge. I want to take a few pictures of the sun, which was beautifully over the river. It was absolutely gorgeous. So it wasn't like a full photo shoot, but he took me out for a drive and I was able to feed that creative need within me. So whatever your creative need is, lean into that big time. You're being called to take a little more time to notice the beauty exists you all around and contribute to the beauty in your own way. This could be through your own creations or in the little things like how you dress to picking flowers for your home. Every time you devote your time to creating beauty, you harmonize the planet and a little more, and the shift in the vibration can be felt. So that is one thing in October, as the month is ending. How can you really lean into you and your passions? Boundaries. So that for me, boundaries were in October. They were pretty prominent because I had to protect my energy in a very big way. And I'm not saying it was boundaries of I can't be around so-and-so, or they can't do this, or I can't do that. Like, it was boundaries for me and knowing my limits and knowing how I feel. And that also goes with food, drink, when I'm eating. I leaned in last weekend to cravings, bought healthier chips, and my body still doesn't like things being completely saturated in oil, especially when it's packaged foods. So, such is life. Boundaries. You're being called to create clearer boundaries in your life. This could be with your friends, family, or work. Saying yes when you really mean no leads to resentment, which is the biggest energy drain ever. At first, it may only feel a little bit and not feel like a big deal, but before you know it, your energy field becomes porous and you're left feeling depleted, resentful, or taken advantage of. So this is where you want to really, really dig deep. And I'm saying this as a parent because I could feel or have my own boundaries, but my kids or my husband are going to have completely different limits within their energy body and within their soul. So for me to assume that my boundaries should be also their boundaries, that may not be the case, right? Everyone's boundaries are different. Everyone's lives are different. Even though I live with my husband and kids, they're totally different people, totally different people. So their boundaries are going to be completely different. And then we also have family boundaries. And that's one boundary with our family is communication. And we communicate. We need to communicate. Not all the time, obviously, but communication is one boundary that we have with our kids, with my husband and I. It's not, I guess maybe it's not a boundary, but it kind of is. Like, it's a boundary of, in this family, we communicate. We talk about this, we talk about that. If you're going to go somewhere, whatever, right? Also boundaries, having 2 teenagers, we all help with stuff in the house. It's not just on mom or dad or the kids. So that's another boundary. So pillar of light. Let's find that one. And then we're going to pull a few cards for November. So pillar of light. This one is not alphabetical 102. And that's actually a boundary too. Like when I look at this and it's, as I just said, it's not alphabetical. That's what I'm not used to, right? So it's looking for, that's another boundary. Like sometimes we want to push our boundaries a little bit because we can learn, we can experience more. If we stay within the confines of what we think our boundary needs to be, we won't grow. So boundaries are something that ebb and flow. You want them to move. Think of a spider web. That is a great visual. Think of a spider web. They can be super tiny. They can be tightly wound together, right? Like not in a ball, but it can be a small web, or it can be an expansive web. I have one in front of my kitchen window. I need to clean my windows. And it's interesting because the boundary may start like this, and then it continues to expand. So a boundary is not something that's set in stone. It's not something that just because this person has this boundary means I have to have the same boundary. That's not the case. It really is unique to each one of us. And it really is something that it's unique, and it's also gives us the opportunity to be completely authentic to ourselves too. Completely. So pillar of light, your vibration is rising. What a great way to end October, with a rising vibration. I don't know if you can see through I don't think the lights are on, but I've got my Healy on, and that's one way, along with my essential oils, that we can increase our frequency. I was doing some work earlier this afternoon, and I was impressed with how productive I was being. And then all of a sudden I just kind of felt stagnant. And I knew I needed to get up and I needed to move, because motion shifts energy. So I knew if I wanted to continue being productive, take a break. Get up and do something else. You are heaven and earth in perfect expression, a conduit for the light of the heavens to the earth. You are the rainbow bridge. Take time to meditate. That's actually, I did that before doing this video. I stretched and I meditated. Imagine yourself as a pillar of light connecting the light of the heavens above with the earth. As the light shines through each of your chakras, you activate the rainbow bridge that many ancient scriptures talk about. Raising your vibration and the vibration of the planet, linking the higher realms of the cosmos, guides, angels, and spirits with the ancient wisdom keepers and beings of planet Earth. They dance together through you. They sing together through you. You are the oracle. Do not look for guidance outside, for you hold all of the wisdom of your entire universe in the portal of your heart, in every cell of your body. Do not see the angels and guides as above you, for without you, they have no way of communicating. You are the oracle. You are the rainbow bridge. You are the pillar of light. So see yourself connected. You want to see yourself connected to your truth, your soul. There's no one like you. There's no one like you. Okay, and I'm going to pull one card from the Moonology Manifestation for October ending. I really like these cards too. Oh, perfect. Breathe through the tension. So whatever might be going on for you, whatever it might be, as I mentioned for myself, there was a lot of tense moments this month. I'm optimistic November is going to be better. We will see what the cards come out with. Lean into you. All right. So I'm going to actually switch to the Starseed deck. for November, because I am actually really pulled to that. So I'm just gonna... I really like using the sage to clear my cards. Especially, I haven't used these in a while, and I felt really inspired to get my cards out today and share a message, especially with the end of the month, the beginning of a new month, almost a new year. Incredible, actually. Okay, so let's do for November. What do we need to know? What would benefit us? How can we grow in November? And we're going to do 4 cards. Okay, so I keep hearing past, present, and future. We're doing this for November. So, okay, let's go with this. Past, present, and future. And then in the now moment. All right, so here's... All right. So... Okay, so past, present, and future, and now moment. Past, star family. You're part of a team of souls. Call in support. We're all a part of this. This is all our past and also our present. Our present, water your garden, nourishment, body care, tenderness, and rest. And then future, karmic relationships, Orion energy, polarity, soul growth, and conflict. The now moment, lost lands, soul memories, and gifts. You've done this before. The now moment, you've done this before. Stop the resentment, stop the resistance, and lean into you. Who you are. You know your truth. You know your truth. You don't need to listen to anyone else. All I'm sharing with you today is these cards, these messages. You need to sink down deep into you and figure out what this means for you. Because what it means for me is totally different. What this is going to mean for you, it'll come to you. So in this now moment, I'm not even going to open the book because this is just feeling incredibly powerful, intuitively, in this now moment. So you might need to meditate. Okay? Soul memories and gifts. You've done this before. Journal. What does that mean for you? Journal. Okay, so past, star family. We all have a past like this. We were all created. We all have a past. You're part of a team of souls. So if you're feeling, as we're moving into this new month, if you're feeling unsure or not grounded, call in your spiritual support. Literally. Whether you go into meditation, whether you journal, call in support. The present. This is key. Especially, like I said, and these, as I said, these will be different from what I'm talking about and how I'm experiencing this to you. So use my story as an example and then dig deep into you. What does this mean for you? Okay. So water your garden, nourishment, body care, tenderness, rest. So I'm going to continue doing that in my present day, in my present month, and into November. I still need more rest. I still need more body care. I still need more nourishment, which also has been a focus in October, and it's pulling back into November, and it's going to continue to move forward. The future, karmic relationships. Look at how these two go hand in hand. When we take care of our body, when we nourish our body, when we practice body care, when we're tender to our soul, when we rest when we need to, we're going to have soul growth. There's going to be conflict because there's going to be things that are going to come up. There's going to be things that as we're watering our garden, if there's things that self-care that you're doing, personal development that you're doing, it could bring up things from the past. Okay. So you want to call in support when things are being brought up from the past that are causing conflict or potential for conflict, right? You want to call in help. And that's okay. We weren't put on this earth to do all of this by ourselves. We were not. We were not. Especially those of us raising children. We were not meant to do this by ourselves at all. It takes a village, right? And I'm not saying that kids need multiple parents or multiple. Lots of kids do have some split families and have multiple parents. What's your situation and what does this mean for you? Okay, interpret it for yourself. That's what you need to do. Soul memories and gifts. In this now moment, grab your journal. And what does that mean? What does this mean? What is my soul here to do? It's interesting because for a while, and this goes back to for me, it goes back to when we were trying to get pregnant after we got married. And I was just continually keeping myself busy. I need to do this. I need to do that on top of my job. And what I've been realizing is when I have side stuff, is the extra money great? Yes. Do I need to? No. Do I really need to be pushing myself beyond that? No. We live in a society right now where if you're not doing, are you anyone? Which is sad. It's really sad because we can all thrive so much stronger when we lean into our truth, when we lean into who we are 100% in our authenticity. And that's what we need to do in November. That's exactly what we need to do in November. We want to remember, call in support for past. We want to water our garden. I'm sure you've heard the saying about, the grass is greener on the other side of the fence. Why are you looking on the other side of the fence? Look on your side. What do you need to do to your grass to make it green? Don't worry about what anyone else is doing. Stay in your own lane. Your lane. Water your garden. You. Present. Future, karmic relationships. Clear your karma. Clear your karma. Because when we don't, that's what comes back to continue haunting us. If the stuff that we don't deal with, the stuff that it's like, oh, no, not dealing with that, not dealing with that, not dealing with that, nope, not dealing with it. Guess what? It's eventually going to come back. And chances are it's going to come back and it's going to be, 5-10 times worse than if you would have just dealt with it in the first place. So allow it to come back. Even the hurtful things, even the sad things, even the things that make you angry, allow it to come back. You're feeling it again for a reason and clear it. Allow yourself to feel those emotions, feel to heal. You can do it. You can totally do it. The month of November is going to help you. And then in the now moments, remember, you've done this before. You came here for a specific reason. It may seem really messed up right now. Okay, I'm going to clear these cards and let's see what's going to manifest for November. Okay, what is going to manifest for November? I think we need, yep, 2 cards. All right, so we'll do 2. That's 1. And then we'll just do 2. All right. So what will manifest in November? You are going to step up and lead. Because you're going to water your own freaking garden. Water that garden and step up and lead. That's exactly what's going to happen. And you're going to honor your feelings. It all goes together. It all goes together absolutely beautifully. Absolutely beautifully. So that is the energy update for November. I hope that gives you a little food for thought of ways that you can lean into your life and lean into your heart and soul. Yeah. It's going to be a good month. Remember, control the controllables, and whatever isn't, release.